everybody, this is Caslon, Michael Brenner from Drop Top Tees. We're in Itsy Bitsy, headed through just south of downtown Dallas on Interstate 30, headed toward the Italian Carfest today. It's a big get-together of all kinds of Italian cars, classic and modern, Lamborghinis, Alfa Romeos, Fiats, Maseratis, you name it, it'll be there. We're going to be there in about 25 more minutes, and I'll fill in more video when we get there. Okay, so we are here at the Italian Carfest in Grapevine, Texas at Nash Farms. All kinds of different Italian cars we're going to go and take a look at here, ours included. We're going to start off with a kind of unique Fiat Abarth Formula 3 race car. They had the engine fired up at about noon. Right now it's 1:30. We got two race cars. The Fiat Abarth. As you can see, it's a Formula Abarth 033. And the old Alfa Romeo that you can actually put a passenger in, but they have it in race car trim right now. And we'll save the Fiats for last. Next we're going to move on to a really cool wrap on a Lambo. This Lambo has a Italian flag scheme on it. This is awesome. This is one of the prettiest cars here at Gallardo. 2013. Got several other Lambos here.
Okay, well then let's go back to the shade. Let's go back to the shade.
This really pretty blue one. Diablo. And another Diablo yellow. Then we're going to move over to the Joker. Here is the Joker with his 4C Spider, sweating in the Texas heat.
Suffering for my art.
Yes, suffering for his art and his car. Another 4C. Alphas are very well represented. There's a lot of Alphas here in the Dallas Metroplex, as well as Ferraris too. Giulia. Here is a 71 Junior Zagato. Pretty car. In a very old 1973, this is a Giulia Super 1.3 from long ago. Big leap to what they look like now. 1989 Spider. This is a classic Alfa Romeo from back in the 80s. 87 Milano. I've seen a lot of these over my years. And we're going to get down here to this Spider, and then we'll turn around and go back through the other Alphas here before we get to the Panteras. I'm trying to go through this quick because it's so hot. It's over 100. It's going to kill my battery really fast. So we have the Stevia TI. Another Giulia. A lot of 4Cs. There's like 3 or 4 4Cs here. Some more of the old Roadsters. Here's one that's a little bit unique. This is a GTV 2000 Alfa Romeo. Finally another 4C. This is the launched edition from when they first started selling them in the US. Okay, now we have 4 Panteras here, De Tomasos, and we have one Mangusta, which is the De Tomaso that they built in the 60s. It was the predecessor to the Pantera. The Panteras are unique amongst all the Italian cars that are here for one reason. As you can see here, that motor, for you American sports cars fans, even though this one says De Tomaso on it, it's probably going to look familiar because it's actually a 351 Cleveland from Ford. All the De Tomasos had 351 Clevelands in them. This is the Mangusta here. This is a 69 or 67 or something. This is a 69. And this has crammed up in there as a 302 Ford power plant. This is the Cobra 302.
If you have it on near you, I won't need you.
Needless to say that switching to the 351 Cleveland with the Panteras was a huge power upgrade for them. This one's really pretty. This is the one I voted for the Panteras in the contest. And now we're into Ferrari land. There are a ton of Ferraris here, like the Alfa Romeos here in Dallas, because it's a big money town. There's a lot of Ferraris. These are 6 to 8 cylinders down here, but we're going to have a couple 12-cylinder up at the end, Testarossas. Here's a really pretty Spider. It's the California edition. I think there's 2 of them here. We probably have more Ferraris here than maybe the Alphas tie the Ferraris. Between the 2 of them, they're in the lead for the most cars. I know at Italian Carfest they have almost 90 cars here. It's the biggest Italian Carfest that they've had. Here's another California Ferrari from 2011. Here we go. Magnum PI driving there. That GTSI. This is like power car heaven over here under the shade. Partly under the shade.
I need to buy 500 lefts and 5
And now here we go to the 12 cylinders.
What's the price range?
Twin Testarossas here.
How much is it? If I buy 10, if I buy
One of them has the trunk open, you'll be able to see the engine. Massive engine. This is engine size for the sake of engine size. And then now here's another, you remember that De Tomasa Mangusta? Well, here's the modern Mangusta. This is, I think, 2011. This is a Mangusta from, oh, it's 2001. The car itself looks tiny. There's not a lot of back to it, but it actually has a back seat. I don't know who is small enough to actually fit in the back seat, but it actually does have a back seat. And this is, sadly, is an automatic. I would love to see this in a standard. The theme for this year's show is the Italian connection. So there's cars here that are just kind of Italian, but not really. Like this doesn't get to park over with the Fiats. It's an X19 from 1987. So what happened was, after Fiat pulled out of the United States sales, just like with the 124 Spider, where Pininfarina kept selling them in the United States for several years in the 80s, Bertone, which designed this, kept selling them in the United States. So even though it's in our local Fiat club, it didn't get to park with the Italians. It had to go into other Italians because it's actually sold under the Bertone nameplate. Even though it has the Fiat badge on it, it also has the Abarth badge, but it's not really. It's a Bertone. Same as this. This is a Pininfarina. It's pretty much a Fiat 124 Spider Classic, but it was sold by Pininfarina after Fiat left the US market in the 80s. Here's a Lancia. There's several Lancias here, owned by Fiat now. So Monte Carlo. Over here is probably the most non-Italian car out of them all, and the one sitting next to it. This is a Citroën, which, if you know about cars, it was built in France by Citroën. That's like their French national car builder. But this model of Citroën happens to have a Maserati engine. It's the motors by Maserati, so it fits into the Italian connection. Yeah, this is here because this one is designed by an Italian designer.
Okay.
Okay, so the theme for this year here was the Italian connection.
Okay.
And so, like, the Citroën here has a Maserati motor.
Okay.
This one was designed by an Italian designer, so it gets to fit into the Italian connection, even though it's a BMW, guys. And this is a BMW. And like I was just telling this gentleman, it's here because it was designed by an Italian car designer. And I think he has his logo on the side. Where's it at? It's Gio. No, it's a G. It's he has it on here somewhere.
Oh, it's back here.
Giorgetto Giorgiario or something like that. Yeah, I knew it was on the car somewhere. He has it.
Oh no, it's the M1.
No. It's like GIA Ario. So it's an Italian. It's the one BMW ever designed by an Italian, I think. And here's Maserati land. A gorgeous Spider over here, gray Spider. Most of the Maseratis are hard tops, but this is the one Spider here. It's a very pretty car. This is a Grand Sport. Here's two more Ferraris parked beside the Maseratis. Adnan Aziz and Ali Aziz. On this one it's a FF, and here is a 812 Superfast. Okay, and then we get to the Fiats out here in the sun in the middle. Fair representation of Fiat 500s. A lot of Abarths. This I imagine is owned by a girl, has like a purple wrap, custom seat liners and wheels and stuff. She has this one all customized out for her. I've seen a lot of Fiat E's at events, but there are none here today. Mostly Abarths. And I guarantee you there's going to be a Fiat up here you've probably never seen before. Maybe some of you have. If you're watching from Europe, you may know what this is. They're sold in Europe, but I understand there's only like 6 of these in the United States. And that is this Fiat Panda 4x4 Sicily. There's like 6 of these in the United States. If you want to go rock climbing, like in a Jeep Wrangler, this is not the vehicle for you. But if you're just doing minor off-roading, like driving down a beach or something, this thing's so light that its tiny motor doesn't matter. It just floats over loose sand. And it's very good for light core off-roading. Just not many of these in the United States. Another Fiat over here, and then we have Franken Fiat. The guy who owned this, I can't remember what it is. It's like an 812 or something. And he's totally customizing it himself to where pretty much everything is his own design in it, except the shell. And then I was surprised. We didn't have a lot of classics here. Okay, we have this really nice orange one. 124 Spider from 1972. And then we have Cathy's Classic. 124 Spider from 1975, original down to a working 8-track. She's the president of the Dallas-Fort Worth Fiat Club, and her husband and her own that car as well as this 1980 X19. Then we have my Fiat 124 2018. You can see the badge I was talking about, how we have the spider emblem on it. That's not a permanent thing. I got that design idea, and so I got it put on in vinyl first. And what I'm going to do is I'm getting a design company to write down the exact dimensions of the badge. And the way I have this 124 Spider, I'm going to have a company fabricate a badge like that that'll go here, to where this will end up being like a chrome spider on top of black background that's going to fit right in here. And so that'll happen hopefully before Christmas. Another X19, another Spider Abarth. We only have 2 modern Spiders here, which is really kind of surprising. But overall, a great turnout and mix of cars. A little something for everybody. Oh, let me show you this old Alpha up here. This is another unique car. I have to actually go over. I haven't gone over and looked at it yet, but I've been wanting to. It doesn't have the placard on it, so I'm not really certain what it is. It's a Giulietta Sprint. He had the engine open earlier. I imagine this is a 60s type car. A Giulietta Sprint. It's really pretty. But there's a look at all our cars. We had music and food and a lot of people walking around. And you would think with all the Lambos and Ferraris and Maseratis, they would get all the attention. But I've been sitting by my Spider and just constantly people walking by asking about it. And so far everybody's liked the Spider badges, so it's like that's why I put it on there. You can see somebody taking a picture of it right now. I put them on there to see what people think of them, and it's been really well received. So I'm going to go ahead and get them done. If they turn out good and anybody wants to get a set of them, I will be able to make duplicate copies of them for other people if you want them. But that's going to be a couple months from now, so I'll keep you up on that. His Ferrari is nice, wicked fast. Wicked fast. He must be from Boston, but I know he's not. Okay, so there's a look at the Italian Carfest. And our next video we're probably going to record in a couple days is that one where I want to talk about the electronics, the 7-inch screen, and some of the really good to know things about that. And then I also want to do one where I show how to replace the exhaust with a like an Ottawa Combi or Goodwin resonated or straight, or not straight pipe, muffler delete exhaust, and show you how simple that is. So that's going to be the 2 videos we do after this. Have a good day from the Texas heat. I'm about ready to go consume a Shiner Bock and cool off. And so I will see you later. Ciao.